Oh, hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to my garage. This is going to be episode 4 of the Yamaha XS1100 Brat build. I need to backtrack. I know originally I said that we were going to powder coat these and some other bits and pieces, but I did some calculations and I found it's just kind of not worth it on this bike to do it that way. I'm trying to keep this as a budget build and keep it under a certain dollar amount. So when I tallied everything up, I just saw the powder coating as an additional expense that wasn't really necessary when I can do a pretty good job with spray paint. I know what you're thinking, yeah, the powder coating would be a better final product, but you can do a really good job with spray paint, and I'll show you that in later videos. Unfortunately, because it is winter time, I will not be able to paint them now. You want to keep the temperature to relatively 70 to 80 degrees to get a good process through the curing. So in anticipation of springtime when I'll be able to paint it, we're just going to get these all stripped down, get them down to bare metal, and then put the new tires on, and so I can put it back on the bike and continue on with the project. Come springtime, we'll take them apart again and clean them up a little bit more and then paint them. So stay tuned for that video down the line. But in this one, I'm going to show you how to strip off all the old grime, dirt, and paint using a wire wheel and some sandpaper. So let's hop right into it. All right, before I start cleaning these up, I just want to show the condition of them. You can see right off the bat that when they came out of the factory from Yamaha, they came in a two-tone, black on the inside and then kind of brushed metal on the outside. Over 40 years of weather, riding, rain, dirt, oil, whatever, it's eaten away at that finish and left it kind of worse for wear. So what I'm going to do is paint them completely black, though I don't want the two-tone color, I just want them blacked out. But to do that, we got to get them down to bare metal so that the paint will have something to stick to. So to do that, we're going to use this guy right here, just a drill with a wire wheel. That's going to knock off all the old paint and kind of get down to the bare metal. And then once that's done, we'll hit it with some 320 sandpaper around the edges. I might use a heavier grip, but we'll see when I get there. One thing you want to do when working on something like this is you want to wear a respirator. A paper mask is fine. I happen to have the respirator, so I'm going to use that. And eye protection. You don't want any dust going in your lungs or eyes, so just take care of yourself. It's more important than finishing a project. The other thing we got to do is tape off this hub. I don't want any dirt going into these bearings. These bearings are in great shape. They turn smoothly. There's no grinding or rubbing or roughness to them. So another reason I didn't want to powder coat them is if I did, I'd have to remove those and get new ones, and it's just not worth spending another 40 bucks when I can paint this myself. So yeah, so let's just hop right into it and you'll get to see these things clean up. Alright, so that's been about 20 minutes of hitting it with the wire wheel, and I mean you can see just how much of that old paint knocked off and how nice the metal's starting to look. If you kept doing this for a long time, you can get a nice brushed metal look. I'm not going for that, so I mean my goal here was just to knock off everything loose, which I pretty much have. Sorry, the camera keeps adjusting color, I guess it's not liking the lighting too much. But yeah, so that's where we're at now. We've gotten rid of all that like black stuff now. There's issues like these corners. Those are going to be hard to get with a wire wheel because it's just going to be too big to fit in there. So what you may have to do is go in there with steel wool by hand or with a Dremel or sandpaper or something. But for the bulk area, 20 minutes, it's pretty much ready to be painted. Of course I need to wash it, clean it really well before painting, but again we're not going to do that until springtime. So this is just kind of a let's get it knocked loose, cleaned up, so that when I get my new tires, I can mount them on here and have them ready for painting. When I do paint it, I plan to have the bead kind of broken with the new tires sitting on there, and then we'll tuck some index cards in between here and just kind of surround the whole thing so the tire doesn't get hit with paint when I spray it. Same thing, we'll tape off this hub area, much nicer job than this, so that we don't get any paint in there because that's where the rotor sits. We don't want to change the way it seats, but a little paint won't even hurt if it does get there. But yeah, this is where we're at, 20 minutes. I'm gonna do the other side. I've got about an hour left in this garage tonight before I have to go in, so just gonna get done whatever I can. I'm not gonna film it because it's gonna be the same thing you guys just saw. But yeah, this is just kind of where we're going. So next video you'll see it all finished, but here's a kind of before, and this is after. Again, about 20 minutes of work. It's gonna be another probably 15, 20 minutes cleaning up the edges by hand and with my Dremel, and yeah, we'll have a nice bare wheel. All right, what's up everybody? This footage is from the future technically. It's 2 days since everything you just watched. I came back in here to continue working on these, trying to get them as clean as possible. Now this front wheel, I'm pretty much finished with. Granted, you're gonna still see some black areas in there, but I've hit them with sandpaper, I've scuffed them up. They're pretty much ready to be painted. Now again, painting's not happening till spring, so come spring, these will get really well washed, hit with alcohol to get any final grease off of it or oils that build up. And then I'll probably hit it with some sandpaper, or rather sandpaper then wash, before final painting begins. Again, this wheel wasn't too much of a challenge. Sorry, having trouble flipping it around. Everything pretty much worked out how I expected it to. And I'll just kind of take you a quick walk around. So yeah, you're still seeing some black spots in the corners. Not an issue though. Those are gonna be fine to paint over, especially once I clean them up a little bit more come springtime. Now where I am running into a problem with is this rear wheel. This has got a whole lot more going on. A lot more crevices, a lot more tight corners. It's just been a pain in the butt. And it's a two-parter too. The other issue is that my wire brushes for the drills are all starting to get beat up and worn out. So they're not stripping as well as they did originally. I got some more over there. So I gotta go to Harbor Freight and pick up another pack of those, and then I'll get back to attacking this. I am resilient, I'm not gonna give up. So yeah, I still got a lot to do on these to get them bare and ready for painting, but I'll get them there. Hopefully by this weekend, so I can put the new tires on because they did arrive today. So I wanna get those mounted up and take a look at how the bike looks with those on, and create another video of putting the new tires on these bad boys. Now I have used this method previously to paint other types of things that are metal, just never anything with this many crevices and corners and paint. Also the paint on the rear wheel is in better shape than the front one, so it's been a little more resilient to be removed. But as resilient it is, so am I. I'm going to keep attacking, I'm going to get it all cleaned up and ready for painting. But yeah, I just wanted to show you where it's at. This is one side, this wheel's a little heavier, but other side's done too as far as I can take it. So yeah, we're getting there. I don't want this whole tire series to just be, you know, everything I'm successful with. I want to show you guys the things that I'm struggling with, because if you're doing a project like this yourself, you need to consider these things too before you go into it. So again, if you're going to attack something with this many crevices, be ready for a fight. If you have wheels that are just more solid, smooth pieces, it shouldn't be too big of a deal to strip everything down. All these sections, they were a piece of cake, you know. So I definitely say give it a shot if you think you're up to it. But yeah, thanks for watching episode 4. Peace.